I have been appreciating my freedoms as a copywriter, entrepreneur, as someone who built first a freelance copywriting business and then built a business on the back of my copywriting ability over these last few days. Because, well, my daughter, she's actually been home sick the last couple days. Thankfully, it's not COVID, but it's like fever and sore throat and all of that stuff. And while she's been homesick, I have really appreciated the freedoms that I have been able to express. Like, freedom is always a freedom to do something or freedom from something. This is the freedom to do something that entrepreneurship and copywriting brings. And so I wanted to talk about that in today's episode. These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. So for today's episode, I actually stole the title from myself from a training that is inside the BTMSinsiders training library called Freedom Through Copywriting. And I've included a link in the description to Freedom Through Copywriting. It goes into how to achieve freedom using the copywriting skills. And it's not just about, how to quit your job and become a freelancer, although it does walk you through that. It goes much deeper into how to achieve total financial freedom if you are developing this skill set of copywriting and marketing. So that's the sponsor for today's episode. Check it out. The link is in the description. I want to talk about freedom through copywriting and what it can actually mean on a day-to-day basis. So, when you have sick kids, you got to take care of your sick kids, right? And I'm actually recording. You're going to see or hear this for the first time on Wednesday, but I'm recording this on Tuesday afternoon. Little peek behind the scenes in how my process works. And it's Tuesday afternoon. My daughter has been home from sick Monday, Tuesday. My wife actually had to work all day yesterday. She's a psychologist. She had patients lined up and all afternoon this afternoon. And so during these times, I have been home with my daughter. And yesterday, I had the freedom, and in the context of work from home and COVID and all that stuff, more people have experienced these freedoms for the first time. But this is something that's been available to me since 2010, since I quit my full-time job. I walked out for the very last time on February 11th, 2010. It was my personal Independence Day. And sometimes that means the ability to do this. So yesterday, I was basically sitting on the couch all day because my daughter was resting on the couch all day, fever coming and going, taking her temperature, getting her what she needed, all that stuff, right? Today, she's been feeling a bit better. She's been up and down. The fever's kind of breaking, so hopefully she's going to be back at school tomorrow. But the great thing is to see her on the mend. But all throughout this time, when my wife has had to work, I have been home and I have been flexible and I have been free. And the great thing is I have not worried about it. And the reality is it taps into why working for other people can suck. There's this whole anti-work movement that's gathered steam on Reddit over the last couple of years, right? Where basically we see the worst employer behavior. So employers who are complaining or berating their employees for talking about anything other than work during work hours, or employers who are, just being total terrible bosses. And honestly, even in working for other people, mostly that was not my experience. But when you do work for others, there is always some kind of control that you're giving up over your life. And so things like you have to be at the office, you have to ask permission if you want to leave or if you need to stay home. If your kid is sick, you're going to have to take that limited paid time off. All those things that can come up where you're always beholden to the boss. You're always beholden to whatever rules they set for essentially your life, because so much of your waking life is spent at work every day. And there are some upsides to not being completely out on your own as a freelancer, as an entrepreneur. So, for example, if you have a salaried job and it's a company that is stable, et cetera, it's maybe more secure. And maybe you have less responsibility if you are not running your own business, but there is so much more constraint. And I know that so many people choose freelancing, they choose copywriting, they choose entrepreneurship for the different types of freedoms that it brings that have, many of them have actually played into what I've been able to do just in these last couple of days, right? That I'm appreciating in this, and that I'm hopefully sharing with you some of that appreciation to inspire you to, if you have not yet pursued copywriting, entrepreneurship, that perhaps this is going to inspire you to go a little bit further down that path. So the 5 freedoms of freelance copywriting are: number 1, the freedom to control your time, your schedule. You work when you choose to work. You stop working when you choose to stop working. You can take days off to take care of kids, and you're not beholden to somebody else's decision-making process or time off policy or whatever. You are choosing how you spend your time. Now, of course, if you want to be financially successful, you're going to have a lot of productive time in there, right? You're going to have to get your work done, but still you are choosing it. You're approaching your schedule and your timing of your day on your terms. Number 2 is the freedom of place. That is, you can work where you want. You can work from home. You can work from coffee shops. You can work from, if you want to travel around the world, if you want to lead a lifestyle that is location independent, you can work from where you want to work from, right? So you have that freedom of place. You also have the freedom of people. So if you don't like working with one particular person or a particular client or whatever, you can stop working with that client. You can choose who you work with. You can choose what clients you pursue. You can, you choose who you are interacting with in your work life in a way that is much greater than it would be if you were working for somebody else. You also have the 4th freedom is the freedom of income. That is that freelancing, copywriting, entrepreneurship marketing allows you to generate much greater income when you create much greater value for the world. And so your income will always be tied to some sort of value creation metric, like how many people are you providing what value to? And that's going to contribute to what your income is. And so I'm not just saying become a freelancer and you'll make $1 million every year or 10 million or $1 billion or whatever, right? The income is still tied to the value that you're creating for people, but you have so much more freedom to make your work create a leveraged income, an income that's not constrained by, for example, other people's decision makings. And heck, this week, new inflation data comes out that inflation is up, so high. My income has risen beyond the rate of inflation for years and years. And so it's something where, yes, I hate it. I hate the feeling of everything's getting more expensive, but I'm not feeling the constraint when I go to the gas pump or go to the grocery store or whatever, right? So having this freedom of income is huge. And finally, the 5th freedom of freelance copywriting is opportunity. You have the freedom to pursue and to create whatever opportunities you choose. Once you develop the skill, once you develop the capability, once you develop mastery of copywriting, you have the freedom to create whatever opportunity you most desire. And here's what happens when you can write your own ticket. Well, one thing that can happen is if you have a sick kid and you need to stay home from work, you're not actually, if you're like me, this is my home office. So I'm not even staying home from work. I'm just here, and I'm able to be here for her. And I am able to do that and make that choice with a sense of peaceful freedom, knowing that I have all the flexibility that I need in order to do that. And I don't need to worry about makeup days, or I don't need to worry about, getting time off approval or anything like this. And I know some people can get into entrepreneurship and kind of turn into total workaholics. But you can also get into entrepreneurship and really embrace this freedom and appreciate this freedom. And you can choose to be happy about this. Yeah, there's consequences. Like the last couple of days have been less productive than if I was just having an uber focused day. Heck, I've had days where my kids are not home from sick where I've been less productive than if I was having an uber focused day. But like, there's all these huge benefits to just being able to be the parent who's here for my kids, like if they need me. And that is absolutely huge. And so, I just taken this episode to appreciate the power of the freedom that you are able to enjoy when you develop a certain mastery of copywriting and marketing skills, when you develop entrepreneurship, when you create your own opportunities through these skills, through these opportunities. It's something that from day to day, the different benefits that you experience are, of course, going to be different, right? They're going to be unique, and you can appreciate them for what they are as they come up. For example, hey, if you need to be home, if you need to be available because your kids are home from school, go ahead and be available because your kids are home from school. Now, if you are catching this basically within 24 hours of when this episode is going live, I am also going to include a link in the description to a free web class that I'm doing on Thursday, April 14th, 2022, called The Fastest Path to Copywriting Mastery. And if you do have, significant experience as a copywriter, either through employment, through freelancing, or through your own business, this is going to be something you're going to want to check out because it's going to show you how to get good fast, like get better fast, and how to get paid more. That's the fastest path to copywriting mastery. And remember, today's episode was sponsored by Freedom Through Copywriting. That's my training that I borrowed the title of this episode from. And it talks about how to achieve financial freedom and lifestyle freedom through the skills of copywriting, marketing, and entrepreneurship. Freedom Through Copywriting is in the BTMS Insiders training catalog, which means you're paying one low fee to get instant streaming access to the entire catalog of BTMS Insiders, and that training will be included. You can just log right in, you can start streaming it immediately, and you can dive in. And yeah, so I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, and I hope that you are able to appreciate whatever freedoms that you have now, and you are able to discover more and more freedoms through the application of the skills that you are learning from me in Breakthrough Marketing Secrets by going deeper into BTMS Insiders and through all the other opportunities that I provide. Check the links in the description to check those out. In every episode, I'm here trying to help you increase your marketing genius. And one way that you can make sure that you are expressing your greatest genius is by finding joy in what you do and the opportunities that your life is bringing you. And so if you take a moment to ponder this, I think you will find a little bit more marketing genius waiting for you. I'll catch you again in the next episode. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.